Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to continue a conversation which I started a few videos ago. I think it's called Changes and Challenges in the Diet or something like that. It's a video toward the end of last year and something that I promised that I would make a separate video for in the latest update. So here it is. Physical changes. So for that we have on one hand the body and on the other we have the sun. In case you haven't noticed, well, this is not the same sun anymore. In 2017, if you remember or not, I introduced you to the new sky as a reality that I started to experience in the beginning, rarely, sporadically, and something that now is a reality that I live day by day. Also, that year was the year of like me starting to see things brighter and brighter, and also in situations where there was not that much light or like in the darkness, my eyes closed, and all sorts of like weird and interesting situations. So this has a translation for the rest that you could notice in the UV index. It's stronger than ever. Even now with lower temperature, because right now that's why they're trying to like cool down the temperature, is they're trying to like stop the warming up. I mean the global warming will continue, but it's not the global warming that they're trying to, I mean, what they're saying that what global warming is or the causes behind it. So even if you like suppress the temperature, even if you keep them down, you still have a very high UV index factor. That's why we have all these like storms and clouds a lot and all sorts of stuff, because it's getting warmer and warmer and warmer. Not necessarily just warmer, but it's this heat that comes in even when there is lower temperature, like I don't know, say 21 degrees Celsius or something like that, or even lower than that, because I started to notice them during the winter. I would go for my walk in the park middle of the day or something like that, and even if there would be like winter, would still be weird because there were days when it was sunny and you could feel the burn. Now it's also very interesting that even if like there are days where it's like really, I mean, lower temperature, like for early spring, which now should not be normal because we're getting into the summer, we have this kind of like weird situation. So you're outside and it's cold, but then you feel like you're burning. So it's a very interesting situation. And also it's kind of humid, but it's not humidity. But then again, this has to do with this reality that I gave you a few details about it a few videos ago. So yes, we can't avoid at this point the fact that the sun is affecting everyone and everything, and especially our bodies. The infusion, we are connected with the sun through us, the currents and the information that is and will override the information is already at work, even if sometimes it is suppressed, and I feel when it is suppressed, and that's the thing. When it is suppressed, you feel like you want to just go to sleep. The moment it's again let to just circulate naturally and normally through you, it can wake you up in the middle of the night. I'm not talking about those levels of infusion when those things, those upgrades, those like intervals when there is this like special time when a certain information and energy is being bombarded basically into us, which yes can keep us up and wake us up in the middle of the night, and we're up for a few hours. And some people feel this not just like waking up, but like anxiety, anxious, things like that, and they don't know what's going on, and they go to the doctor and it's like, oh, it's nothing with you, but you feel like your whole body is like it's weird. So these kind of changes are influenced by the sun, by what's happening right now with the information, the energy that is actually reaching us. So this is only one part of like the change. The others, they translate like in, I mean, we've seen them, or I mean, I talked about them before, allergies, things like gluten intolerance, lactose intolerance, all sorts of allergies about a lot of type of foods and things like that, that until now they wouldn't have been even actually a thing. I mean, 25 years ago, when I was already complaining, but I didn't know that I was lactose intolerant, being lactose intolerant, that was just such a rare thing. It was not a thing. That was just like kind of like what people now categorize as autoimmune diseases, which are not necessarily autoimmune diseases, but it's just because the body is reaching certain levels of energy, certain things activate and certain things don't work the same. So whenever it hits another threshold in energy, and where there's certain, let's say, things in the bodies, I mean, physical toxicity or emotional, mental garbage, those things can turn into unpleasant whatever effects in the body or in your mind or things like that. So they turn into what one call disease or weird symptoms, weird things. So yes, though those things have become more and more evident, and they will become increasingly more evident and more stronger. Not everyone is going to be able to withstand all these changes, so therefore it's not about just like now the virus or whatever. There's many other things how people will many ways how people will exit. I mean, those that cannot go with such level of transformation and mutation, basically. And another thing why the body cannot withstand so much, well, those that will not be able to withstand this, is because the body has its batteries empty. By the time somebody is 40, if you haven't paid attention to your nutrition, is like your diet, what you eat, what you not eat, how you live your life, pay attention what's happening with your emotional, mental, whatever situation. If you just live this life that creates a lot of stress, by the time you reach 40, you're kind of done. You're tired, you're exhausted. And people think, oh, okay, if I reach this age, that means now it's downhill. Not necessarily, although I have to mention something. So the bodies right now, the way they are, they're also transmuting a mutation that has created this problem of like what's called here aging, or basically the self-destruction of the body in the end. And this distortion, well, there have been many distortions to this prototype, but this particular distortion starts around the year 11 of someone's life. And instead of like growing the form at the same time with the energy as the energy accretes, and the form should actually manage to accommodate the energy and the awareness in its form, I mean, with this form, whatever, it crashes the system. Around this time or later, it crashes the system. That's why you will see people that, although, yeah, I mean, the difference is like in the eyes, and the body is like what one says and what the other says. It's just very interesting. So the body has to express, has to match the increase in energy, but that does not need to actually crash it or destroy the form. Now there are some of us, well, increasingly more and more people come in and they manage to take on this distortion and actually clear it. And that's why you see more and more people that supposedly look younger now at ages that not very long ago was considered, oh, you're already old, and 30, 40, whatever. So this does not look anymore like it used to be. So somebody, and it's not about being obsessed with being young or things like that. It's not. It's about understanding that the form, the way we were originally, the way we were designed, we were supposed to actually thrive and not like weather and just die and things like that. So yes, this is changing as well. So those that are able to go with the changes will be able to heal all these things and actually grow their form, transform their form to take it into the next level. So that's another thing that you should keep in mind. Another reason why people are unable to to actually go with the changes and withstand these changes is because their batteries basically are empty. By the time you reach 40, due to lifestyle and due to whatever, you are kind of like empty and you're tired. It's the stress that actually puts a lot of pressure on the adrenals, on your kidneys, and all the stress and fear. And some things don't work properly, but also, as I said, this is part of also those things that until now, I mean, because of the distortion, that actually will try to just like crash the system, because instead of like growing the spiral and also the form or whatever, then it's basically, it's clashing and it's crashing the system and the form. But as I said, some of us are and will be able to transform and transmute this kind of situation. But because we are in the middle of this huge changes, we have to help ourselves. As I said, this is not an easy time. This is not an easy transition, as I said, where the energy rises and like, look, that's just so easy. I don't have to do anything. No, it's not that story. I'm sorry. It's not that story. But you can help yourself with supplements, vitamins, minerals, things like that. And yes, as you go with these changes, you will need, naturally, there's people that even like until now, they haven't felt the need to change anything about their lives, and all of a sudden, I don't want to eat meat anymore. I can't. I feel bad, or I feel bloated. I can't eat gluten anymore. So this is going to be something very normal from now on. Like all of a sudden, overnight, you change from one lifestyle to something that you never thought that you're going to be able to do. So that's also going to be normal. So iron is one of those things that will help you around this time to recharge the batteries, because this is what's being used a lot, which is the thing that creates energy, and it's the base. Although it's funny, we move toward a form that has more silica. Also, silica is a very important element that actually will help you keep the form together, because this is one of the things that the body runs out, and that's why it looks like it's saggy and it's dry and the skin is falling off and things like that. And also in internal processes and for the organs helps a lot, doesn't like not have other problems and things like that. But you should, as I said, you should help yourself, take good care of your body, because this changes, the moving into the next level of reality. If you want to take the body with you, the body has to be able to withstand this kind of changes. And you can't just be like, yeah, I don't care, whatever. I mean, if you don't care, fine, whatever. But this is how it's going to be. We have to really take good care, because this is our home. This is the house that is housing the spirit, and you need it, and you need it in the best shape so it can actually house a higher level of awareness. So for that, you need to be cleaner. Things inside you need to be nicer, lighter, more space. So I already gave you quite a few tools that how you can achieve those things. But yes, now, although it's like it's very important to actually eat clean or not eat, or like have these periods of like basically well, if you haven't done the process, you call it fasting. You can do that. You can do all these things to make sure that the body actually is at the optimal in an optimal state, but also helping yourself with supplements and things like this during this time is necessary, because the influx the influx of these energies and changes is so huge that it's so taxing for the body, because you think like, but this is energy. Yes, but then again, the form needs to adapt, so for that it needs energy. So it's kind of weird, but this is energy and this is energy, I don't understand. And now we'll come to something else that I personally experienced. So I told you that for 2.5 years after I've done the Buddha process, I didn't take absolutely anything, no supplements, no nothing, which I used to do before that. I just wanted to go to see how things were going. what was going on in the background, and with this like these games of like playing with the grid, what like kill the energy, let's stop it here, let whatever. I couldn't play anymore. So that's why I chose to actually well, I've always been in the middle, but like I chose the middle path. It's like, yes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to take a break, I'm going to have my dry mode, but I'm going to take also the supplements. So I am using everything. I don't feel bad. I don't ask for anyone's permission. I just do what I have to do because the body needs the best things right now, the best conditions, so it can actually withstand the changes that are happening right now. We can't play with that at this point. It's just like you want to make it or you don't, you know. So that's why I said that please help yourself. Don't wait. I don't know, to just like end up in a hole just because somebody said, oh no, I'm going to limit to this. No, we're not supposed to limit ourselves. We're going to use everything that we have, what's available. And also, please bear in mind, because now I actually forgot, and I wanted to say this before, the things that I'm taking, they're kind of like this. So initially they work, not that the stuff that I'm taking, because I'm taking iron, I'm taking other things as well, they work, but as I'm taking them, they feel like ghostly, because the state of my body is different from the state that they're originally from. So it's very interesting because they're not working for me as they used to. That's another thing. And you might experience this as well in the future, if you haven't already. So whatever you're eating, I explain this with food either way, what has happened with the taste, with everything. The only thing that has remained when I eat is this memory that I know that this used to taste nice, but that was it. There's no longing for it. It's just like, it's right now, I know that this used to be nice, but besides this, there's like this ghost feeling. It's like something has been muted. And it's kind of the same with all the other things that I'm taking. Yes, they are helping, but then again, they seem to like disappear. I'm just explaining to you. After a while, it's like, where did that all go? Because it felt, but then it disappeared. So this is happening because my body is in a different state than the actual object that I'm taking in. The tablet or whatever that I'm taking. So it's a very weird effect that I'm experiencing with basically everything. So yeah, that's what's happening. But we're going to help ourselves for as long as necessary until other things become available. And also we're going to have to take, I'm already taking better care of my skin, because I never really took care of my skin, because I never really had problems with my skin. But since this like light and burning and things happening already, I started to wear more like cream, although for a period of time now because of what happened with my gut. But this actually was because of the gluten. But then again, this was because of this activations that made gluten like, I have a problem with this, let it go, don't give me this anymore. Yeah, I'm just taking better care of my skin, and I'm going to use, I've already started to use like sunscreen. I know that there's a lot of discussions out there about the sunscreen, and I know there's a lot of not okay products, and I know that, but I don't use those kind of things. I use organic things. I could recommend you products, but maybe on another video on my other channel. I do take care. I do take better care of my skin, because this is very sensitive right now in these changes, during these changes. And also I'm wearing sunglasses more, which I never really did in the summer. I have a lot of sunglasses, but I never really wear them. Now I started to use them a little bit more. And as I said, I know that there will be some of you out there that will be fun sun gazers, whatever, sun gazing fans, whatever. But the changes cannot be denied. So as long as these bodies adapt to another reality that can withstand these things, we have to take the best care, the best whatever solution that we have available right now, because things are going to change either way. So yeah, so anyway, I hope this was interesting. See you next time. Ciao. And they cannot be suppressed anymore. So right now some things are being pushed, like also like the weather that you see right now.